line between graffiti and art is getting finer.
Graffiti can be a lot more than just ugly vandalism. It might also be a death trap.
Well, there is now a $5,000 reward for information leading to the tagger known as Bro.
Many types of gangs in our community, the Bloods, the Crips, the Latin Kings. They call themselves graffiti crews. Cops call them gangs.
Why are we glorifying gang culture? Like, your main contribution is, when you're not killing, is spray painting your nickname on other people's things.
If you cross out my stuff, I'll hurt you.
So who decides how you separate the two, art or vandalism?
No, Tash, you don't understand. You throw a fat f***ing piece up there, that place is yours. I'm like, nobody thinks you own Costco.
Graffiti is the voice of the people. Graffiti is the writing on the wall. It goes back to ancient history. Look at the cavemen, look at the Egyptians. It's a natural human instinct to write on the walls, you know? It's just a matter of people caring enough to make it beautiful, I guess.
I think graffiti is beautiful. Some sort of graffiti, if you're just tagging things on murals, and I think it improves the city.
Graffiti is inherently illegal. People like the term graffiti and they throw it around like they're whoa, it's graffiti. It's not.
When I think of graffiti, I think of art, obviously, and politics.
I like occupying space. I love interpreting the space in different ways.
Maybe there were graffiti artists, but once you start doing that, it's not a graffiti. It's not a piece of graffiti. And the term graffiti is stupid anyways.
But I like to see graffitis, in fact, in the streets or little hidden places. It depends on what it is.
And I started doing it, and now instead of getting arrested for it, I get paid for it.
About community mobilization, community participation.
Think of mural.
Some are art and some are not. I mean,
So my favorite thing to do is find, I don't know, a building, a place that's unoccupied by people and just evolve it. That's my favorite kind of graffiti. It's just evolve the space.
A mission, mobilize community, involve community, give power to community, and just keep it going, keep it alive.
Kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. I'm gone. Can I kick it? To all the people who can quest like a tribe does. Before this, did you really know what I was?
I think on one side, gathering is the base of these artistic movements. Which gatherings are gathering and why and how is also important, and now we're living a time where there's a lot of money invested and it's an industry now, the street art industry, and graffiti is kind of linked to it and mixed with it. So it's deep. I wouldn't know exactly how to answer about how I feel about, because I feel so many ways, but I'm in it, I'm living it, I'm experiencing it, and I'm growing in it, and that's the important. And I'm growing out of it because I was not born in it. And it's a tool we use, gather people and share resources.
Yes. More like a spiced out Manmohan Singh. Like a spiced out I can't control. Like a spiced out Bhagat Singh.
Queens Boulevard, Kierkegaard, hustle hard, hustle, OMG, oh my god. Vic came back with 3 pizzas, get one to death.
Locally run versus commercially run.
Mural festival, sorry guys, is a bit rock star. It's like, oh, Martha Cooper, take my picture, and all this, like, my head is gonna blow up, you know?
I was asked to give my opinion about the interaction of graffiti art and urban art and street art in a context of festivals and gatherings.
The mural festival, the one that I did last year, was chill. It was the first one of its series. It's not the first one of its kind. People say that, but it's not the first mural festival. Under Pressure theoretically was.
And Under Pressure transcends all social classes, all language barriers, religions, everything. Everyone comes.
Under Pressure, Sterling Downing.
He was a big grapher in the city. He went by Caesar. That was his name. He used to spray paint Caesar everywhere because he thought he was the king.
Started it because he was part of the graph scene, and then it turned into like, I don't know what the it turned into, or it's turning into. It's like the mural festival, just badly labeled, like some kind of weird money-making thing. I don't understand it.
We believe that there was a need to promote and discuss and create dialogue about this culture, and that there was a large group of individuals that didn't have a voice.
There's always been people that have compromised culture to gather people, but beyond gathering people, to make money, to profit out of people.
Montreal also pays their artists. Under Pressure does not. Under Pressure is completely volunteer. When I had a gallery show, I had to take it all out of my own pocket and put it towards that.
And that's kind of copy-pasted. It's just, but it's our interpretation, and it comes from us. So it's our perception of a culture and our involvement in the culture, and then how do we take ownership and take on responsibility within our community or our city to promote it.
It's got a lot of funding. Worked hand in hand with the city. If you're down with that, it's good for the community, I guess.
Community being the creator of everything. Not just the graffiti writers, not just the spectators who come, not just the B-boys or B-girls, not just the volunteers, not just the MCs or the DJs. Like really, all of these people combined as a community in the city. That's the cool thing about community is if everyone does what they do best as an individual, and everyone accepts that, and everyone is on board with that, then that's when the movement is the strongest.
They brought a lot of artists here from abroad, which really made the city look cooler. Like there's a lot of cool artists.
One thing I think they should start doing, and they kind of started doing it, but having more local talent being part of it. They had a lot of international artists part of it, but you know what? This is like the second year for the festival. I understand with the first year, you're trying to get more people to come out, spread the word, so maybe over the years, like we'll get more and more local people part of it.
It's good publicity, but it's like, it's that whole effect of like, let's bring in the internationals so it promotes it, but they just pay out money and the money goes away. Instead of supporting a local artist, which is my big thing because I'm a local artist.
I want to see the festival grow. Instead of it keeping it on Saint Laurent, I want it to hit maybe like St. Henry one year.
They're limited because they're just a mural festival. That's all they could do. Montreal has a limited amount of artists. They make their own regulations. It's saying, like I was in there this year again because they don't use artists in 2 years in a row. You know, it's like they wrote their testament.
There's actually heavier graffiti laws in NDG versus a bunch of the other parts of the city. If a building has a tag on it or graffiti, the building itself could get a fine. So it's like a very, I don't know why though, but there's like a much stricter rule than downtown here, and you see a bunch of tags everywhere. So NDG is a little different. I think it's harder for you actually to get permission to do a mural compared to everywhere else in the city. Rather than, you know, something commercial, a lot of the time, depending on who, let's say the sponsor is, depending on the wall, like you'll have to abide by their rules as to what you can put on the wall in order to get the money to do the gig. So it's like, it's kind of more controlled.
Just like the kids always had to pay, we always had to pay. especially me as someone back in the day would try to do faces and just non-traditional graffiti, was always met with like, oh, you could paint that corner over there, or that shitty grade over there. We'll leave it all for the writers.
And there's bidding wars for these walls. I know that there's one building on Saint Laurent. They've been fighting. A couple of artists have been fighting over it for like 3 years now, and it's going up easily for $85,000 just to paint this wall. It's crazy.
Definitely means a strong influence in my artistic identity, basically.
It's huge ass walls. That's what I do it for. Like, yeah, I meet people too, which is amazing. That's a wicked byproduct of my lifestyle, and that's great. But the real love of why I've been doing it, well, I did, like I said, I did it for like 14 years before I got a cent. It's the love of doing what you do.
It's not always about making money. If I get the opportunity to make art anywhere, I'm going to make the art. The art comes before the money.
We're all inspired by, all of us in this culture are inspired by similarity. Like things that are just like skateboarding. It's like you can take a kid who skateboards in Russia, a kid who skateboards in Middle America, and I guarantee that all those kids know how to do a kickflip. They're all learning how to do an ollie. They're all learning so how does that information get communicated? How is it that kids from really different cultural backgrounds that have never seen each other, never spoken to each other, don't speak the same language, are learning to do the same thing and creating their own style of doing it? It's based on perception, interpretation, communication. All of these things are. So you need vehicles to do those things.
I'm in search of inspiration these days. So what I say to myself right now,
It's all about putting art up on the walls and expanding. We've got this whole city with these blank surfaces to hit up.
it molded, it sculpted, it helped sculpt my mind, my ideology, graffiti culture, in hip-hop culture, in the roots of its virtues of that culture. So I would say it's that. It's my door to these virtues that are way older than just like the modern breakbeat, b-boy, MC culture that was born in the States in the 70s.
I think we spend a lot of energy trying to compete and trying to protect what we have. Again, being threatened, instead of embracing things, instead of understanding other things and seeing the beauty in something else. I think now, in all these years of doing this, I just admire other people when they do something and what they do. And I mean, again, it's an extension of them. Under pressure for many, 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 many years, probably to this day still is. I'd like to believe it's not, but is an extension of me.
Graffiti culture was the visual part, at least, the visual story that influenced my path in understanding.
Energy is power. I mean, if you can harness energy, and again, harness, not using that word in the context of confinement, but harness it meaning get it all in a ball and then propel it, release it, and that's what under pressure is, and that's what graffiti is.
So if the gatherings is to connect with people, I'll be there. I love to share with people. That's why I choose to do graffiti. It's to be public and to be out and to meet.